Hi everyone, thank you for attending my talk virtually. In this paper, we are trying to figure out the relationship between code writing and prose writing using medical imaging like fMRI. It is a collaboration among Michigan, Georgia Tech, and UC Santa Barbara. In this virtual setup, it might be hard to see my collaborators. So first of all, I would like to thank our awesome undergraduate researchers, Ryan and Xinyu, our longtime psychology collaborator, Dr. Tyler Santander, our research fellow, Dr. Kevin Leach, and my advisor, Professor Wesley Weimer. Some of the co-authors are also available in the chat channel during this talk. My name is Yu Huang, a PhD student at Michigan. My research is on the intersection of software engineering and human factors. I'm going on the job market this year. In 1982, this well-known computer scientist, Dijkstra, expressed his opinion on what makes a good programmer. A good mastery of one's native tongue is the most vital asset of a competent programmer. Well, he was probably right since software engineering involves a lot of communication. However, readers may take it in a different way and become really concerned. For example, you will find a post asking about this claim and people that are desperate to know how to become a good software developer if they are not good at natural languages. Guess what makes them even more hopeless? When you see an answer claiming that if you cannot write well, you cannot program well. This post has been there for almost 10 years and thousands of people viewed it. But is this folk wisdom true? Do human beings really know the answer? Not really. The good news is, in recent years, software engineering researchers have started using objective measures such as medical imaging, like fMRI, to study cognitive processes of computational activities and their relationship with natural languages. For example, there are many papers on the neurological process of prose reading, code reading, as well as prose writing. Researchers have even used the findings in these cognitive processes to intervene and improve certain human abilities, such as treating dyslexia, enhancing memorization and code comprehension. However, we have no grounded results on code writing on the neurological level to help with it. Thus, the high-level question we try to answer in this paper is, are code writing and prose writing similar neural activities? Informally, is being good at writing associated with being a good software developer? In the rest of the talk, we will discuss the challenges of the study, our experimental design, results, and conclusions. There are reasons why code writing has rarely been explored in neurological studies. First, we have physical challenges. Because of the strong magnetic interference in medical imaging machines like fMRI, basically all kinds of keyboards programmers are familiar with will not work. So we employed an fMRI-safe bespoke QWERTY keyboard by completely separating the control logic from the keyboard itself, so the interference will not affect the signal transportation. And our participants, they can just lie down in an fMRI machine and do touch typing. The second challenge is imaging studies require carefully controlled experiments, and no high-level design for code writing has been proposed before. We solve this problem by designing a 2x2 contrast experiment, in which we include both code writing and prose writing, as well as two types of writing tasks, fill in the blank and a long response. In fill in the blank tasks, we call it FITB for short. You need to come up with a word or a line of code to make the entire sentence or function work. In long response tasks, we call it LR. You need to write a short essay or a function from scratch. So the idea here is FITB is more like a low-level writing task. The LR tasks are more like a high-level tasks that are made of the repeated low-level tasks. We hypothesized that examining FITB tasks help us understand the low-level basis for code writing, while examining the LR tasks may show aspects of a high-level creativity of software engineering. We select the coding problems from the Turing's Craft website, which provides fundamental coding tasks. And we select the prose writing problem from SAT. In this study, we recruited 30 participants, 20 are male, 10 are female. This population also includes both undergraduate and graduate students. Each participant undertook 52 tasks in total, including all 4 types of tasks we introduced before, while having a brain scanning fMRI. When we analyze medical imaging data, we are really talking about over 1 million brain voxels. Thus, we need to pay extra attention to false positives. I will not talk too much here, but more details can be found in our paper. We follow the best practice in psychology and neuroscience in our data analysis. There are 3 steps in total. Step number 1 is pre-processing, like correct systematic sources of noise. Step number 2 is first level analysis, to study brain activities within individuals. Step 3 is contrast and group level analysis. For example, we subtract one task from the other to cancel out effects from the environment. We apply the false discovery rate correction to avoid spurious correlations. Finally, we present our findings regarding 4 research questions. We will talk about them one by one. Question number 1. Do self-report claim code writing is like a prose writing? It turned out 38.5% of the participants believe they are similar tasks. Well, but do the medical imaging findings agree with this or not? So let's take a look at question number 2. We found out from the brain activities, there are significant and widely distributed difference in neural activity between code and prose writing. Actually, these distinctions can be observed in more than 10 brain regions, as shown in the highlighted areas in the figure here. The hotter areas drive the distinction between code and prose writing. In RQ3 and RQ4, we want to understand what low-level and high-level features explain code and prose writing. We found out on the low level, code writing requires more in parts of the brain associated with top-down control, planning, and categorization. On the high level, prose writing requires more in canonical brain regions that are associated with language processing, while code writing involves more in attention, memory, planning, and spatial ability. This finding is surprising to us because no matter from human intuitions like the comment for Dijkstra's claim or the similarities between reading tasks reported in previous studies, we thought code writing and prose writing should be very similar, but they are really not at the neurological level. In summary, we present the first study of code writing using fMRI by deploying a bespoke fMRI-safe keyboard. We designed a 2x2 controlled contrast-based experiment. Our main result found out that code writing and prose writing have very distinct mechanisms. This is surprising to us. At a more granular level, in both low-level and high-level tasks, we found out code and prose writing involves more of different brain regions. Especially in high-level tasks, code writing involves more of the right hemisphere, while prose writing involves more of the left hemisphere. We hope these findings can help guide computer science pedagogy, workforce retraining, and more importantly, encourage more diverse participation in programming. Even if you are not good at writing, there's still a good chance that you can be a good programmer. Thank you.